and Alex
think
Pereira,
John Jones could beat Francis?
Yes, I think he can because John Jones has something
crazy.
Listen, John Jones has this magical thing in MMA called a double leg. It's this magical thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
And he's going to take down Francis.
Yes, he would. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and today I am joined by Elijah. And 2 weeks in a row of me getting screwed out of that UFC belt right there. Is that what I'm hearing right now? Because last week you picked Tracy Cortez and you picked Muslim Salikov, and we both picked Gene Silva, and we'll talk about all those fights. But Rose won, so I had a win. And Muslim Salikov won, which gave you the win, which meant we tied, which meant you retained your title. Muslim Salikov did not win that fight, though. Just like how Jorge Masvidal won last week against Nate Diaz, Santiago Ponzinibbio beat Muslim Salikov.
It's about control and how you pace the fight.
I don't even want to acknowledge anything you say right now because I am so frustrated. The person who deserved that win was Santiago Ponzinibbio, and he got screwed out of his win.
And you think so?
Yes, I do think that. I think that 100% that Muslim Salikov did not win that fight, and last week Nate Diaz did not win that fight. I should still have that title to this day. And last week when we started the podcast, I said you were going to be the Aljamain Sterling of this podcast, and now you have 2 split decision wins. Man, all I'm saying is you're gonna just fall off. You're gonna get KO'd one of these fights.
Absolutely not. I feel like you're hating on my success and my reign as champion.
I am.
And I just picked the better fighters. I know my UFC. I am an expert, so these things just come naturally to me.
You saying you're an expert with a straight face is like hilarious to me because it's so not. You're so not an expert. Listen, there's the hardcore and there's the casual, and this podcast was made because I'm the hardcore, you're the casual. Stay in your lane, man.
What about my last year's 6-0 run? 6-0 run.
But that was before the podcast. Since we started the podcast, I have domination. Domination is all that can be described as.
Really?
Yeah, I had like six weeks in a row. Never lost a quiz on this. Come on,
See,
man.
but quizzes is different.
Yeah, but I have more knowledge about the UFC than you do.
Okay.
That's true. That's just a fact.
Okay. Semi.
You know, we could even do something right on this podcast where I go down and I name every single champion to ever live in the UFC. And I could do it, and I could do it.
My scoring criteria and the way I break down fights is so much crisper. It's so much crisp. Because you got to think about it. Like, I really know how to break down these fights round after round after round.
You don't.
I know when someone's getting robbed, and I know when someone's not getting robbed.
Bro, I feel like you just learned how to score round by round like 2 weeks ago. Like, literally. That's what it feels like. It feels like you just learned how to score round by round like 2 weeks ago. Because, like, 3 weeks ago, you were always talking about how, like, but, like, throughout the fight, like, this person won. And then all of a sudden, now you're the biggest proponent on round by round.
Yes.
So you changed up that quickly?
Well, it's not even that I changed up. It's that even when I first started UFC, I've always judged the fights evenly, fairly, unbiased. And I go by the true winner. I go by real winners. If you're beating this guy or beating him in the fight and you beat him on the numbers, you beat him. But there might be times where this person's might have these chances in the fight where they might be winning more than the other person and this department, and they might do some things, but the other person is completely beating them on the scorecard, like they're wiping them out.
Okay.
But it's all about how you process the fight, and you have to judge it by UFC criteria, my criteria.
Not your criteria. Your criteria sucks.
The right way.
All right. Now that you've got that all off your chest, congratulations on retaining your title. Yes. Even though it was a draw, which means that I should get another chance anyways. But we'll just go down and talk about some stuff that happened. Montel Jackson knocked Damon Blackshear out in 18 seconds. Blackshear's one of like 3 people to ever have the twister, like the submission, the really rare submission. Yeah. And Montel Jackson wiped the floor with him, knocked him out. I was looking at his record. He's 14-2, and those 2 losses come to like pretty high level guys. Like, this guy is a guy to look out for in the bantamweight division, O'Malley's division. Knocked him out in 18 seconds. 14-2, only losses to high ranked guys. Montel Jackson, I think, is going to be top 15 coming soon.
Whoa. Is he going to fight Peyton Talbot?
I'm in. Peyton Talbot versus Montel Jackson. I'd be in for that fight.
That's going to be a banger.
18 seconds versus, I think it was 32 seconds.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's some fight. Joshua Van, man. I was really hyped on Joshua Van for the longest time. 10-2 now. He was 10-1. He got knocked out in the third round. He was winning the fight, and Charles Johnson came back, knocked him out. Charles Johnson has built quite the streak for him now. He was kind of going back and forth, almost cut. Now he's built up a little bit of a resume now. I'm thinking top 15 opponent for him too.
Top 10?
Nah, top 15 probably. He'll get like rank 15 guy and try and fight him. But Joshua Van, man, if he won this one, I think he would have gotten a top 10 guy. He would have flown up these flyweight ranks because there's a lot of room at the top of the division for flyweight.
Yeah.
Now
with Usyk coming up.
Well, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like there's a couple guys that are coming up and flushing out all of the guys that we really didn't care about for the longest time. Because there are a lot of guys in the flyweight division that no one cared about, and now all of a sudden they're guys like Makayev, Usyk, Tesha Otyra, and it was going to be Joshua Van, all guys that are really highly like touted in the community where it's just like, oh, these guys are the next wave. And that's like the first time we've seen this with flyweight in the longest time.
And I think with the Alex Pantoja fight versus Steve Usyk, I think it was a very high level fight. I think it was a great fight for the both of them. And I think that shows where it shows the old school versus the new school, basically. And Alex Pantoja, he held his ground. He did what he had to do. He showed that he is the champion. And Steve Usyk showed that he's coming to win. And
Steve Usyk showed that he should be the champ.
Steve Usyk, he's also he's developing his skills. He's going to get right back up in it. But he's showing that there are new levels of talent. And, I mean, the way Alex Pantoja just held him off, and it was weird. I mean, if we ever broke down that fight and watched that fight, like I could show you like where like I see it versus
you can't.
You're wrong in certain ways. But that was a very high level fight. I think it was a good fight for the both.
All right, we'll do that on a fight review coming up soon. But yeah, Joshua Van, sad for him. He looked really good, and was winning the fight pretty handily. Making our way up to the main card. Al Hassan pretty much whooped the shit out of Cody Brundage for 37 seconds. Brundage shot for a takedown. Al Hassan immediately elbows, punches. Then he hit him with one to the back of the head. Cody Brundage was like, no. He was trying to probably draw out the DQ, but instead it became a no contest. Yeah. So it kind of backfired on him. So just a no contest on both of their records. But honestly, Cody Brundage should probably get cut from the UFC. He's 10-6. And all he had for him was a takedown, and then he immediately got messed up. I don't know, man. I don't like Cody Brundage. He doesn't seem like UFC material to me. Julian Erosa got a submission over Rodriguez. Rodriguez had already beaten a couple of high-ranked prospects like Rojas Jr., Cameron Simon, and now just got submitted by Julian Erosa, who is kind of a journeyman in the featherweight division. But, yeah, I mean, fine fight.
Yeah.
Lasted one round. Finished in the last second of the round. Or the last 10 seconds of the round. Fun fight. Gabriel Bonfim won the decision. There's really not much to... I mean,
yeah.
He beat a lower, like, talent guy.
Guess to boost his name up again. Get a win on the record.
Yeah. So 16-1 now. And then we make it up to the fights that we talked about. All pretty good fights. Drew Dober versus Gene Silva, fight of the night. Crazy fight. They were rocking each other back and forth. I don't know how Gene Silva didn't get knocked out. I don't know how Drew Dober didn't get knocked out. It ended with a cut. Gene Silva, I think, hit a spinning back elbow and then cut Drew Dober's eye open real bad. And they waved off the fight. They had to. I understood it, but Drew Dober was still fighting. He was still pushing the pressure. Yeah. He had him up against the cage, and then the ref was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to check out that eye. Waved it off. I think Drew Dober probably could have finished the last couple of minutes there, but man, he took a lot of damage. 2 spinning back elbows knocked him down both time. One was like spinning back elbow to like the tip of the chin.
Yeah.
Like right here. And it spun his head all the way around.
Man.
And it was like, damn, man. Gene Silva looks good, 14-2. Lightweight, featherweight. I think he's going to do really good. I just don't like him, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems really cocky and stuff like that, but like...
That's the stuff, man. That's the stuff.
I don't know. Moving up, already talked about it a bit. Santiago Ponzinibbio got robbed. He won this fight. Muslim Salikov did not win this fight. I don't even know what else to say about it. It wasn't really the most active fight or the most engaging fight. It was kind of just a point fighting battle, but I thought Ponzinibbio out-point fighted him.
Yeah.
Apparently the judges disagreed. Well, at least I think one of the judges agreed with me. One judge gave it to Santiago Ponzinibbio. The other 2 gave it to Muslim Salikov. I got robbed blind 2 weeks in a row. Are you gonna apologize to me for being robbed blind 2 weeks in a row?
I mean, my dominance is just what it is.
Whatever. Well, your dominance didn't tell you that Rose Namajunas was gonna win. I said Rose Namajunas was gonna win, and she beat the hell out of Tracy Cortez. So, knocked her down in the first round, knocked her eyelash out. Ooh. Like she had fake eyelashes and knocked one of them off. I don't know why she had fake eyelashes on. Yeah, so Rose kind of just picked her apart, showed why she's still top tier material. Also, probably did give Manon Fiorot like the hardest fight of her career. So, Rose and Manon is number 1 contender in that division. So, Rose is right there, still in that division, flyweight, Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko, Manon Fiorot, Rose. Like, those are, like, the top people in that division. Of course, Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber, but I feel like Rose just passed both of them, even though Tracy Cortez was only, like, 11th. I still think this puts her higher than both of them. I think Macy Barber versus Erin Blanchfield is a good fight, though. I want to see that. Yeah. I'd love to see Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. That'd be awesome. But yeah, other than that, you got anything else to say about this card?
It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Yeah, so congrats. You retained the title.
Champ status.
I did want to mention something. Upcoming fight. So Paris card is apparently going to be Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah. And
they wanted to put Cyril Gane on that card. Cyril Gane said he was down, but now he is going to be fighting Volkov in a rematch in Abu Dhabi. So, okay. And I think that fight makes sense in a rematch because I looked back on it. I looked at the records. Volkov had lost to everyone above him, basically. Yeah. He's lost to Curtis Blades. He's lost to Aspinall. He's lost to Gane himself. He's lost to everyone above him. The only problem with that is Gane needs someone high-ranked to then get a title fight. Volkov is the highest-ranked guy who doesn't have a fight right now. Other than Pavlovich, but Volkov just beat Pavlovich, so it would make more sense to just rematch this. And then if you look into their records, Cyril Gane's hardest fight was Volkov. Every other fight doubled the striking numbers. Every fight.
Damn.
Beat up Derek Lewis. Beat up Rosenstrike. Beat up everyone. Everyone that he fought. Volkov was the one that actually, like, they were only like 10 strikes apart.
Styles make fights.
And then I rewatched the fight, and I think there are things that Volkov has gotten better than the last time they fought.
Yeah.
But it'll also be in a 30-foot ring, or a 30-foot octagon, rather than the 25-foot octagon. And those extra 5 feet can go a long way for Cyril Gane's kind of like point fighting thing that he does.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how this fight's going to turn out, Gane versus Volkov 2. But I think it'll be interesting, and I think that sets up our next heavyweight title contender. Whoever wins that fight fights the winner of, presumably, Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades, because we can move into what we wanted to talk about. John Jones might not be heavyweight champ soon.
Oh, brother, he just needs to retire while it's here, man. How do you get caught up?
I know, right? Like, how is it that this keeps on happening? Like, he said that he was done with alcohol. And I get you're in the privacy of your own home, you're in your own garage, and then these people show up, but you also signed a contract that allows these people to show up whenever they want. So you have to be ready for that and be able to actually provide them with what they need so that they can leave. Because you signed a contract that says you are going to do that.
Yeah.
And you know what's not a part of that deal? You know what's not in that contract? Grabbing a woman's phone and running away and stealing her phone because she was going to contact someone that you weren't cooperating. Like that, and it's all on video. Like the whole thing, I don't know, man. John Jones might be facing legal repercussions. I've heard rumors about jail time, but most likely because it's John Jones, he won't suffer jail time. It'll more than likely be he gets a fine, a fee. And
don't make John Jones the king of the jail now.
Yeah, and depending on how the athletic commission actually like rules the drug tests, he might not be heavyweight champ by November. He just might not be. So I don't know, man. This is like his freaking 9th strike. Like, think about all the things he's done. Crashed a car into a pregnant woman. He has what else has he done? Steroids, steroid abuse, cocaine abuse, alcohol abuse, marijuana abuse. This man has done it all, and he continues to just keep on fucking up, and I don't get it. I don't get how you're the world champ on top of the world, and then you just decide, you know what? I'm going to also be the biggest screw-up. I'm the greatest fighter of all time and the greatest screw-up the sport has ever seen. How?
It's just the best fight. Listen, the best fighters either they do the Khabib way or they do the John Jones and Conor McGregor way.
But does this affect his legacy?
No.
No?
No.
Why doesn't this affect his legacy?
If anything, it boosted it because you know how the new generation is and people are. But yeah, John Jones. I remember one time John Jones had an interview. I was like, do a line of coke, John.
And did he do a line of coke? I bet he would.
He said, hey.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. But there was also something else I wanted to talk about. There was Aljamain Sterling called out of Evloev, like the Russian guy in the featherweight division that's undefeated, like 18-0. I was talking about this last week that they're both the same style, and you said Aljamain Sterling was your dark horse for the featherweight rankings, and I was like, why Evloev is the same exact style but higher ranked, and you were like, I don't care. Yeah. Well, apparently we're gonna get our wish sooner than expected because apparently Sterling has been calling out Evloev, but I don't think Sterling wants to fight in Abu Dhabi, which would be Evloev's home. Because he made like a poll on Twitter or something like that. And it was just like, do you want us to fight at the Sphere? Do you want us to fight at this place? Or do you want us to fight on October 8th? And Abu Dhabi's in like on like the 21st or 22nd or something like that. So I just don't think Aljamain Sterling wants to fight in Evloev's home turf. Because he's a little bitch. Yeah, I think that. I think that he's scared of fighting in his hometown. I don't think Aljamain Sterling has the balls.
I feel like the Abu Dhabi card's just love.
Yeah, but that would be good to put on an Abu Dhabi card. That'd be a good fight to add to the Abu Dhabi card. You've got
put on the Sphere.
Why the Sphere? There's neither of them have anything to do with Mexican independence or Mexican anything, and the Sphere's whole. I mean, neither does O'Malley versus Merab, but at least that's a title fight that you could throw on there. But
it's gonna be a great.
The whole thing's just gonna be like a Mexican fight card, basically. That's what Dana White said. At least he said that it's gonna be very Mexican oriented.
You can go Mexican for the day.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's Jamaican. That's like close. That's technically pretty close to Mexico. It's a little island out there, right by the peninsula. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty good at geography, but don't try and get me to do geography while I'm talking about UFC. My brain can only handle so much at once. But yeah. So other than that, do you want to jump into the prediction for Amanda Lemos versus what the hell is her name? I still don't remember her goddamn name. Here we go. Jandiroba. Jandiroba?
What are the records?
Amanda Lemos is 14-3, and Jandiroba is 20-3. This is the worst card I've ever seen, by the way.
I guess I'll go Jandiroba.
You're gonna go with Jandiroba. I'm gonna go with Lemos.
Okay.
All right. So then we've got our prediction for next week. For that title. So this time next week, Amanda Lemos better get that KO, man. But let's just talk a little bit about how this is the worst card of all time.
Who else we got on there?
So there's one good fight on here. Muhammad Usman versus Thomas Peterson. That's it. Muhammad Usman is Kamaru Usman's younger, bigger brother.
Wow.
Younger but a heavyweight. Fighting Thomas Peterson. I've heard of him. 8-2. He seems okay.
You want to bet on that fight?
Do you want to? I mean, I know who I'm going for.
I'm going with Usman.
I was gonna go with Usman.
Yeah, I'm going with Usman.
All right, then that didn't matter. We both picked Usman. Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. That's an okay fight.
Let's do that one.
I don't know if I want to do that one. All right, we'll do it. All right, so Brian Kelleher, Cody Gibson. 3, 2, 1. Cody Gibson. Fuck.
Brian
All right.
Kelleher.
You got Brian Kelleher?
Kelleher.
You're going with Kelleher.
I'm going with Kelleher.
All right, I got Gibson. You got Kelleher. And then I've got Lemos. You've got the other girl.
Who we got else after that? Might as well.
I don't even know. Billy Aljo is from New Jersey versus Chai Do-Ho.
I'll go Billy Aljo.
I was gonna go with Billy Aljo too.
Come on, go to the other
I'm
guy.
not. No, absolutely not. I don't even know. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. I'm not doing that one. Kurt Halabaugh. I know who Kurt Halabaugh is.
Let's do that one.
Nah, let's do the co-main event. There's Brad Tavares versus Park Jung-young, the Iron Turtle.
Who you got?
I got Brad Tavares.
And who's the other guy?
The Iron Turtle.
I guess I'll go the Iron Turtle.
You're going with the Iron Turtle. All right, so I got Lemos. He's got Jandiroba. I got Tavares. He's got the Iron Turtle. We both had Billy Aljo. And then he has Kelleher. I have Gibson. So I'm okay with that. I'll rock with that. We've got 3 different opinions. So that belt will be on the line. There probably won't be a tie either. So how's that feel? You're going to lose your title next week.
I'm always ready for a risk.
You're always ready for a risk? Well, I'm in too.
Yeah.
That's why I always put my title on the line.
Yes.
Unlike you, who has to get convinced into it.
I never got convinced.
All right. Whatever you say.
I have the most interim titles.
Those don't matter. They're not real.
Interim titles
They're
count
fake.
on this channel.
They're fake.
Interim titles count. Even the viewers, they think. Viewers, do you guys think interim titles count on the channel? They should.
All right. Let us know. I don't think they should, but if you say so. They added Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. And Calvin Kattar versus Kyle Nelson will be the co-main event. That's going to be a fight night at the Apex September 7th. Burns versus Brady is a pretty good fight, though. I don't mind that fight at all.
No, that's not a bad fight.
Both lost to Bilal Muhammad in their last fights, I think.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good fight. Not mad at that one at all. Noche UFC. Let's check Noche UFC at the Sphere. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything confirmed yet, but it's more than likely going to be Ilya versus Max, O'Malley versus Merab, and then we already know that Diego Lopez versus Dan Ige is going to be at the Sphere because Dana White said he was going to do that. So
a rematch?
Yeah, a rematch.
Ooh, 5 rounds?
Yeah, 5. No, not 5. Keep it 3. 3 rounds rematch at the Sphere. I think that's a pretty good fight to add to it. Benoit Saint Denis versus at Paris. That's a okay main event. Other than that, there's a lot of Dana White Contender Series stuff coming up. I think they're focusing on that a lot more and kind of like forgetting about the fact that they got to kind of put some people behind these fight cards. Like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. I feel like 300, UFC 300 really sucked the life out of everything. It left like a black hole behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, you got Leon versus Bilal.
Yeah, but we're already going to talk about that next week a lot. Like we'll go in depth next week and talk about that because that'll be our prediction for when it comes around. So we'll talk about that more next week. Maybe we could talk about DDP versus Izzy a little bit. How do you think that fight's going to play out? Because I really don't see...
Is that before or after?
No, that's going to be after. That's 305.
Oh.
It's like 2 weeks after, though. It's like August 21st or something like that. Let me see. What's the exact date? August 17th. So, yeah, it's like 2 weeks after.
We talk about Jake Paul and Mike Perry training.
Are they really?
Yeah, I saw them training on Instagram. Jake Paul.
Together? I thought they were going to fight each other.
No, they're both training separately.
Oh, okay.
But they're both training to fight each other.
Yeah.
And then it's
Is it going to be regular boxing?
It's going to be regular boxing.
Man, that I feel like Jake Paul could probably win. He's bigger, stronger.
He's already training for heavyweight.
I want to see bare knuckle, though. I want to see them at bare knuckle.
Nah, Jake Paul, he can't mess up his face, his image.
That's fine. He could still get knocked out, though.
It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather seen the Mike Tyson fight. Would that have already happened by now?
Yeah.
I think that would have already happened. That would have been cool.
Here's the thing. Jake Paul's real fights, I know the Deji fight was real.
You're already getting bored talking about Jake Paul fights.
No, the Tommy Fury fight. We could review that fight, see who really won. I think that was a real fight.
Yeah, but who do you thought won?
Jake Paul.
You thought Jake Paul won?
Jake Paul won that fight.
I thought Tommy Fury won, and I thought it was pretty obvious. I didn't even think that was like a bad decision. I didn't even see anyone. I don't even think I saw any outrage coming from the community. I think it was just from Jake Paul. I thought everyone just agreed. Oh yeah, Tommy Fury won. I thought that was just pretty unanimous.
It was an even fight.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that the one guy that can actually box just outboxed Jake Paul, and it was pretty obvious that it was going to happen. I mean, Jake Paul can go around outboxing MMA fighters all day, but when you step in the ring with an actual boxer, and then he gets like one knockout over a boxer who fucking sweeps floors for a living, who just so happens to be training boxing. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, I beat a boxer. No, you beat a janitor who trains boxing on the side.
At this point, anyone can get a fight with Jake Paul.
Yeah, really. Like, let me go get 2 boxing fights, and then I could call myself a boxer.
Yo, literally, if Jake Paul could...
But that's just how boxing works, though.
Yeah.
You fight scrubs until your record is padded enough to get a world title fight. That's just how boxing works. And everyone wants to suck off boxing. Oh, boxing is so great. No, you fight scrubs until you make it to a world title fight. That's why Canelo is fighting a literal nobody in his next fight.
He fought Manguia, and that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. But now in his next fight, he's fighting a guy that does not deserve a title fight.
Who, John Ryder, was it?
Who, I don't even know. That's the problem. I don't know.
He should be fighting Benavidez.
And that's the problem with boxing. Is they fight scrubs until they get a title fight, and then they get beat up by the reigning world champ. It's how every single time goes, and that's why I like UFC better, because it's literally the best fight the best.
But this is the thing:
occasional exceptions.
Canelo has the 4 undisputed titles. I forgot which one. I think it was like 168. 168. And so then Benavidez was winning all the interim belts for all those organizations, making it that Canelo was his mandatory.
Yeah.
And so he eventually won so much and started beating the competition so much that Canelo was his mandatory. Like, him and Canelo are supposed to fight. He's 27, Canelo's 33. They can make that fight happen.
Yeah, but that's not how boxing works. They're not going to make that fight. They're going to push it off for 3 years until both men are out of their prime completely. And then they're going to make it for a lot less money. But both guys are going to get paid more, but the entire event's going to make less money.
But here's the thing. Benavidez actually jumped up a weight class that Canelo's actually going to be fighting in to fight just to prove the point that Canelo doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, and that's fine. But Canelo doesn't want to fight. And neither does any boxer who's a world champ. They don't want to fight. They want to fight the least talented person for the most amount of money, and that's just how boxing goes.
Not Tank Davis, not Crawford.
There's some outliers. I think that Tyson Fury is also another outlier. I think Tyson Fury would have fought anyone, anytime, anywhere.
Do you know Inoue?
Yeah, like I've heard of him. I think he's one of the. I think he's an undefeated guy.
Yeah.
Out of Japan. I think
He's outclassing other boxers in his weight class. He's selling out arenas in Japan. You got to see his entrance. It's crazy. Actually, Tank even thought about fighting him in a super fight because of how technical that fight would be.
But doesn't he weigh like 10 pounds more than Tank? Well, that's not an easy. That's not
they
a hard.
would meet in the middle.
Yeah, that's not a hard cut, or that's not a hard.
He would have to gain
weight
Tank would
gain.
have to cut a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that would be fun. I think that they need to do more super fights in boxing. Like I know they already do a lot of super fights in boxing, but that's the only time where boxing is actually relevant is when they do super
Did you hear about
fights.
Anthony Joshua and Alex Pereira?
No, don't do it.
They want that.
Don't do it.
Alex
Pereira is not a good boxer. He's a good kickboxer.
No,
he's not a good
boxer.
No, he's
I'm telling
not.
You, I've seen his boxing training. He's been training good.
He's not a good boxer. He is a good kickboxer. He needs to throw leg kicks to be able to set up the left hook.
Nah, his left hook just
no.
He just with him keeping his hands up, no one's beating Alex Pereira.
No, everyone.
He could beat Deontay Wilder.
No, he can't. No, he can't. Okay.
Yes, he can.
One, Deontay Wilder weighs like 20 pounds heavier. Two,
No.
Anthony Joshua weighs like 15 pounds heavier.
Alex Pereira's 230, 240.
No,
Deontay
he's like 225, 230.
No.
You're really pushing
it. No, he's like 230, and Deontay Wilder's like 225, 220.
There's no way Deontay Wilder at heavyweight is not pushing 250.
No. He's 220.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, he's just
the heavyweight boxer.
Yeah, he just has a heavy hand because he's going down to bridger weight, which is a new weight class, which is like 200 to 220, and then 230.
He would still knock out Alex Pereira in a boxing match. Alex Pereira does not have that good of boxing. He has really good kickboxing.
Alex Pereira is a high-level boxer.
The entire thing is set up by his kicks.
He kind of boxes like Topuria almost.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Alex Pereira. Yes.
Alex Pereira overswings and throws himself into punches all the time, and that works in kickboxing. Yes, he does.
He never overpunches.
Yes, you never see.
Never.
Wait, you never see Alex Pereira go like this.
Alex Pereira never overpunches. If he does, he either misses and it goes through. But when it comes to aiming his punches, he never.
Yeah, I mean he's got a good aim, but he always overpunches. He swings like this. This is gonna get you caught in a boxing fight. He always swings like this and brings his shoulder across, and his head is just up.
That's the way he's just built.
Yeah, but it's not made for boxing. It's made for kickboxing. It works in kickboxing. And the left hook gets completely set up by the leg kicks that Alex Pereira is beautiful at. Alex Pereira doesn't just walk across and knock people out. I hope you notice.
He does.
He sets stuff up.
He knocked out Jamal Hill straight like that.
Oh, whoa. No, but it takes a bit of a setup for him to do it. And that whole Jamal Hill thing, also Jamal Hill also might have been like distracted by the whole referee thing that was just happened. Oh my god, everything's going wrong right now.
The hell?
He's out of commission. Okay. Alex Pereira does not just walk across and knock people out. He sets people up with leg kicks and strong technique, and eventually he catches you lacking. He does not just do the walk across the ring Francis Ngannou style and run at you and just swing and knock you out. He's not like Francis Ngannou.
Alex Pereira can knock out Francis Ngannou.
No, he can't.
They both fight the same. Yes, they can. Yes, he can.
They don't fight the same.
He's actually a better kickboxer than Francis. So he basically Alex Pereira would pick Francis apart. Unless Francis got a hold of him and whatever, but
can I ask you when was the last time Alex Pereira fought without getting hit one time?
Jamal Hill.
No, he got hit by Jamal Hill
in the legs, not in the head.
He absorbed a single head strike in the fight with Jamal Hill.
Barely in the Yuri fight.
Once again, he absorbed head strikes from Yuri in that fight.
Barely.
If he absorbs one head strike from Francis Ngannou, he's getting himself knocked out cold. That's simple. And Alex
think
Pereira,
John Jones could beat Francis?
Yes, I think he can because John Jones has something
crazy.
Listen, John Jones has this magical thing in MMA called a double leg. It's this magical thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
And he's going to take down Francis.
Yes, he would, easily, because Cyril Gane was able to take down Francis. If Cyril Gane can take you down with a fucking leg sweep, then John Jones can double leg take you down. It's that simple. John Jones would wipe the floor with anyone who has no wrestling base. That's why he can't beat Tom Aspinall, because Tom Aspinall has a wrestling base. He could beat anyone that doesn't have a wrestling base, a.k.a. Alex Pereira, a.k.a. Tom Aspinall. Or not Tom Aspinall.
Could he beat Alex Volkov?
Yes, he could.
Could he beat Pavlovich?
Yes, probably. I think
Blades?
that he wins both. No, I think that would be the hardest fight in the division. That is not a hard fight, but it is going to be a harder fight than most other guys. Because Stipe has a wrestling background. He was a wrestler. That's what he started as.
I'm the champ.
No, you're wrong. Alex Pereira is not that good. He is a very, very, very stellar kickboxer. He is a very stellar kickboxer who's only fought other kickboxers. Like, of course he's going to win. He's fighting other kickboxers. Give him a wrestler. Give him someone.
He'd beat Ankalaev.
No, he wouldn't. Because if Ankalaev is smart, he will hit a double leg. I admit Ankalaev will probably lose if he is not smart and he does not hit a double leg.
Ankalaev says he could beat Alex on the feet.
Yes, I know he said that, which is stupid. And I saw the fight with Jan Blachowicz, and I saw Jan Blachowicz put a working on his legs and tear Ankalaev's legs apart to the point where Ankalaev couldn't stand on his own 2 feet because of how hard Jan Blachowicz was kicking him with leg kicks. I seen that fight, and I know what Alex Pereira can do. And I know that Alex Pereira can do the same thing and easily beat Ankalaev on the feet. The thing is, I am saying if Ankalaev tries to shoot, he is going to easily win. If he does not try and shoot, then Alex Pereira is going to mop the floor with him. And I understand there's that dynamic, but I also believe that one leg kick from Alex Pereira and Ankalaev is going to shoot. And once he shoots, it's over. It's just over. Alex isn't getting back up. It's done. I've said this before and I was wrong. But I don't know, man. I see it this time. Ankalaev, double leg takedown. 1, 2, 3. Bang. Knocked him out. On the ground. And now I got you thinking about it.
Nope. Just another casual statement, and I'm the hardcore.
No, you're not. You're wrong. That's what you are. You're wrong. Wrong as hell. And I think it's time for you to admit it. And I think it's also time that we wrap this show up. You got anything else to say before we start heading out? Because I'm done arguing about this.
Hardcore, casual, hardcore, casual. Know the name, know the ring. Hardcore, casual.
That will not be our thing. It won't be. We need something else. No. I don't know. I bet you're trying to put people to sleep. I bet you 10 people just clicked off right now and aren't hearing a word we just said after you just started doing that.
Hardcore, casual, hardcore.
Thank you guys
casual.
For watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I have been your host, Justin. This has been Elijah. Thank you and peace out. Like, share, and subscribe. I keep forgetting to do this. And you've all already probably clicked off by now. I don't care. I'm coming back at you right now for whoever's left. You guys are the real ones. Like, share, and subscribe. Please, like, share, and subscribe. Do it. Please.